What's going on, everybody? It's Tyler, and we are about a week into free agency, and a lot of things have already happened. We've seen trades, we've seen signings, we've seen potentially the move of Hall of Fame quarterback Aaron Rodgers. But I wanted to break down some of these signings specifically and some of the ones that I thought were my favorites, some of the under the radar signings, some of the ones that you already know about, but basically a top five for me breaking down the moves that have happened the first week of free agency. And I'm going to start that right off with a Philadelphia Eagles move. This team lost Miles Sanders. He's heading to Carolina, but I loved the move they made for their replacement, bringing in Rashad Penny. I mean, this dude has been one of the most effective backs in the entire NFL when given the opportunity. He's one of the best leaders in yards per carry, and he's going to an offensive line that just knows how to run and block their tail off. They were the best rushing offense in football last year. And when you combine a power runner like Penny and somebody who can get a bunch of yards per carry, pretty much no matter the offensive line, when you're able to combine that with Jalen Hurts and the stuff that they can do in the read option and RPO game, I think that it becomes really dangerous for them, on top of the fact that they already had a great passing offense. I think bringing in somebody like Penny to replace Sanders, mix him in with Kenneth Gainwell, maybe even go draft a running back to pair alongside both of them would be pretty awesome. That's my number five. Moving on to number four. Some people might see this as a bit of an overpay, but it's a player I absolutely love. It's Zach Allen going to the Broncos on a 3-year, $46 million deal. He's an interior defensive lineman, not somebody that you really look at and you're like, that guy's going to make flashy plays. But I'm here to tell you right now, he is a difference maker. The dude can play three tech, and he absolutely dominates from inside. He's able to get past double teams, two gap. That's one of the things that he is best at, is he can play two gaps at the same time, make it difficult for backs to find running lanes, and make it so his teammates can go out and make plays. And when his teammates, are as good as that Denver Broncos defense, I think that you're going to see a lot of guys making plays. You might be like, Zach Allen's not stuffing the stat sheet, but he's making it so other people are able to. I think just bringing in somebody that can stop the run, making your defense even that much better. You lost Bradley Chubb in that trade earlier that netted you a first-round pick. You're trying to build around Russell Wilson. Going out and getting somebody that will help you control the ball by making stops in the run game is very important. That is my number four. Moving on to number three, I'm going to go with the Browns. Going out and getting somebody that they can play alongside Myles Garrett and Okoronkwo, who they picked up from the Houston Texans. This is a team that's losing Jadeveon Clowney. We already knew that. He's a great run defender, but he's not exactly the pass rusher. So what do? They go out and they get a guy who is really underappreciated and somebody who played in a pass rushing rotation. Okoronkwo was part of, a Houston Texans pass rushing rotation and really didn't see that many opportunities to go out and get on the field. But when he did, that guy made plays. He has a deep bag, spin moves, cross chops, all different types of pass rush moves that he can use to get after the quarterback. And when you have somebody with a bag that deep, it's only right that you pair them alongside Myles Garrett. We already know how good he is. He might be the best pure pass rusher in football, one of the best players at his position. The dude's an absolute freak. So going out and pairing him with a guy like Okoronkwo, who got minimal opportunity, you didn't have to pay him all that much, and now he can come in and go next to one of the greats. You could potentially see a big sack season when teams are focusing their defense on guys like Myles Garrett. Moving on. Number two, it's going to come from my Miami Dolphins. A little biased here, but I think it's a very strong move. The inside linebacker market was very strong, but Miami was able to go out and get a steal with David Long. This is somebody who can play both the run and the pass. And the biggest thing Miami had trouble with was versatility at linebacker. They had guys like Landon Roberts, who, as good as they were against the run, couldn't defend the pass worth a lick. Not exactly mobile in space. And then you've got a guy who's the complete opposite in Jerome Baker, who's very mobile in space, but not exactly the technical guy you're looking for, still not a great cover guy, and is not somebody you can really trust in the run game. So they need somebody that they can trust to go be their number one linebacker. And what did they do? They did just that, bringing in David Long. The guy is one of the best running linebackers in the entire league against the run. He goes out, makes plays consistently, and he can make plays in the pass game too. That Fangio defense is going to require their linebackers to cover some ground, and he's pretty fast, makes plays on the ball, can play in zone, which is what he is going to have to do to trail with some of those, tight ends that he might see over the middle of the field, running backs underneath. He's going to see a lot of routes come his way, and I think that he is well equipped to take them on. I think that they needed linebacker. They brought in Jalen Ramsey. They've got Chubb and Phillips up front. You needed somebody in that middle level of the field. Moving on. Number one, I'm going to give it. I think this is an underrated pick. I'm going with the Lions going out and addressing the running back position in a way that I didn't think they would. I thought Jamal Williams was coming back, and obviously one of the best personalities in the entire NFL and a great player as well. I love Jamal Williams. The thing is, I didn't love DeAndre Swift, and I didn't think Jamal Williams could be a one. But they went out and they got a one for 3 years, $18 million, and only $11 million guaranteed. That's about 2 years of this deal with Bears running back David Montgomery. That's somebody who has proven that he can be a one, can catch the ball out of the backfield better than Jamal Williams can, is somebody who can move in space better than Williams, but is able to see blocks better than Swift and do a lot of the technical things better than we had seen him do in the past. DeAndre Swift has not been a guy who has been of favor in the Detroit Lions locker room. They seem to go with Williams in almost every case scenario. Whenever they need a big play or, they're on the goal line, there's a reason that Jamal Williams is leading the league in rushing touchdowns year in and year out now. He's going to New Orleans, and I think bringing in Montgomery, who's an all-around back, and you got him for only $6 million a year, only $5.5 million a year guaranteed over those first 2 years, you can go out, you can draft somebody like a Jahmyr Gibbs. Go out and get somebody that you can sit under him, allow him to be the lightning to Montgomery's thunder, and you're able to just let him develop while you have a guy who can be your 1A behind an excellent offensive line. David Montgomery, that's the biggest thing, was not playing with an awfully great offensive line down there in Chicago. Now he goes to Detroit, one of the best rushing offenses in the league, one of the best offenses in the league in general, and it's powered by that power running offensive line and Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator. Thus, I think that is one of the most underrated moves. I know you lose a guy, but you're able to go out and get somebody to replace him. And I think that's just kind of the name of the game in free agency. You got to either be ahead of the game or you got to be willing to go out and make tactical downgrades at certain positions, lose certain guys so you can bring better ones in. Make sure to let me know what you think of my picks. Tell me what some of your favorites were down in the comments section below, and make sure to stay tuned because a lot of exciting stuff is coming to Weeball in the future. I'm out. Peace.